is Liz Holterhouse, OBX for sale, IBX for sale, representing both the Outer Banks and the Inner Banks of North Carolina, coming to you from LPT Realty. And I'm coming to you today from Coinjock, North Carolina, my home office, to go over the June market report. We're going to start with Dare County like we always do and then continue on. And first of all, I'd like to wish everyone a happy 4th of July. I hope you had a great holiday. It's amazing to celebrate 250 years. Let's dive into Dare County. Dare County in the month of June, their inventory shrunk about 2% to 5.63 months of inventory. We're still in a balanced market, but we've edged a little closer to the seller's market. Remember, my statistics break out the county, so Currituck County is not in this statistic, and Corolla has more inventory. The list to sold price was 95.8%, and the median days on market was 41. That was an increase of almost 21%. The median sold price in Dare County is $660,000. In Dare County, for the month of June, we saw 140 new properties come to the market. That was down 19%. And we have a total of 540 active listings in Dare County with median days on market of 80 days. That's up 11%. And that 80 just kind of shows you we're in a balanced market. In the number of listings, 540 is down 2.2% month over month. In the month of June in Dare County, we saw new listings go pending, a total of 94. That number was down almost 24%, and median days on market was 50, and that's up 4.2%. Now, June is the beginning of peak season, so the amount of properties that go pending during peak season tends to drop some because we're at the mercy of check-in and check-out day for many of the listings that are for sale, meaning that if a buyer wants to see a listing, they have to be here on checkout date, which also ends up being Saturdays and Sundays, which is just traffic nightmare days. So sometimes in the summer it is hard to get into properties to show them. Not impossible, but hard. And so those numbers will go down a little bit. We have a total of 178 pending listings. That's down 6.8%, almost 7. And median days on market for those were 54, and that is up 28, almost 29%. We saw 117 properties in Dare County successfully go to closing in the month of June. That's down 2.5%. Those sellers got 95.83% of their list price. That is down almost 1%. And their median days on market was 41, and that was up almost 21%. So to recap Dare County, you've got 5.63 months of inventory on the market. That is down, up. Yes, down slightly, about 2%. Still a balanced market, but kind of edging a little bit back towards a seller's market. Okay, now let's jump into Currituck County. The Outer Banks of North Carolina consist of two counties, as you know, Dare County and Currituck County. Dare County is at the Currituck line just north of Duck, and it goes south all the way to Hatteras, to the Hatteras Ferry, and it goes west over into the Mans Harbor area on the Dare County mainland area. And then Currituck County, Outer Banks, is from the Duck Currituck line all the way to the four-wheel drive area, which takes you to the border of Virginia, and then from the Wright Memorial Bridge all the way to the Virginia state line through the Currituck mainland area. So for Currituck County, in the month of June, we have 4.9 months of inventory on the market. We've kind of edged back into a seller's market in there, and I'm going to break down Corolla and see if Corolla is helping us. But there's not much inventory on the market on the Currituck mainland area. Sellers in Currituck are getting 99.3% of their list price. That's up almost 0.6 0.60%. The median days on market is 16. That's up 33.3%. In the month of June, we saw 109 listings come on the market as new listings. That is down 4.4% month over month. The median list price was up almost 13% to $630,000. There's a total of 407 active listings on the market in Currituck County. That is down 6%. Their median days on market is 113, and that is up 6.6%. We saw 95 new listings go pending, or listings go pending. That is 17.3% up month over month. 42 days on market, that's 44.8% up month over month as well. We have a total of 214 pending listings in Currituck County. That is down 7% month over month. Their median days on market was 45, and that is up 181.3% month over month. That's a big number. There must have been some aged listings that had a lot of days on market in there that closed, that's skewing that number. We saw 104 properties successfully close in the month of June. That was up 2%. And the close to list price was 99.27%. So the sellers in Currituck County are still getting most of their list price. That was up a little over 0.5%. And the median days on market was just 16, and that was up 33.3%. So to recap Currituck County, you have 4.9 months of inventory on the market. That's down 6.1% month over month, and it's down 15.1% in the last 12 rolling months. Now let's break out Corolla, North Carolina. So all of Currituck's got almost 5 months of inventory. And Corolla, North Carolina, which includes the four-wheel drive area, so it's all of the Currituck Outer Banks, you have a total of 7.43 months of inventory on the market. So an opposite tale of the entire Currituck County. And this is why micro statistics matter to a buyer or a seller. You really need to know what your area of that county is doing. You've got 7.43 months of inventory on the market. That is down 7%. The list to sold price for Corolla properties is 97.1. So all of Currituck was getting 99 point something. Corolla is getting 97.1. And in many cases, it's less because many of those homes have had to do multiple price reductions to be able to get their home sold because it is a strong buyer's market up there. You've got median days on market for those properties was 43. That was up 168.75 month over month. That's a big number too. There must have been something that had really had a ton of days on market in there that is skewing those numbers. The median sold price is $757,000 in the Corolla market. We saw 43 new properties come on the market in Corolla in June. That was an increase of 65.4%. We have a total of 156 active listings in Corolla. That's down 2.5%. And we have 31 new pending listings in the month of June. That was up 47.6%. And we have a total of 44 pending listings in the Corolla market. That's up 33.3% month over month. And those kind of increases are expected because the last of the buyers that are trying to get into a short-term rental investment, that type of thing, June was a busy month for that. So we saw 20 listings actually close in Corolla. That was down 20%. The median sold price was $757. That is also down 23.5%. And the list to sold price was down 1% to 97%. And median days on property for those sold properties, median days on market were 43 days. So again, there's almost 7.5 months of inventory on the market in Corolla. That's down month over month 7.1%, and it's down 21.8% in the last 12 months. So if we had the same amount of inventory we had on the market before, we would have a glutton of inventory in Corolla on the market. As it stands now, it's still a strong buyer's market. Sellers don't always want to hear that message, but if you are serious about selling your property, you need to talk to an agent that can look at the stats and tell you exactly what it's going to take to get your property sold. There's a lot of competition out there. It's a great market for buyers in the Corolla market. Now let's jump into the inner banks. I've always had a website that is OBX, the number 4, sale.com, and I now have a website that we'll be bringing online that is ibx4sale.com. And I live kind of in between the two, and I've been pulled into the inner banks of North Carolina for the last 4 or 5 years, and I've sold in 5 counties last year. So Camden, Pasquotank County, Hertford, Edenton are areas that I cover all the time. I go there quite often now, and we're going to continue to do the market report for Camden and Pasquotank County as well. If anyone wants a market report for Chowan County, Hertford County, Gates County, I'll be glad to give you those numbers, but I don't include them in this report. So let's dive into Camden County. Camden County is a county that runs parallel to Currituck County, and it goes to the Virginia border, but it kind of borders like the western area of Chesapeake and Suffolk and Portsmouth. So that area is pretty accessible now by roads to the Virginia market, and it's kind of what is driving the Camden market. And then Camden comes all the way down, paralleling Currituck County into Jarvisburg. Almost Palace Point is where you look across and you see the tip of Camden County. And then the other county that it borders on the western side is Pasquotank County, which is Elizabeth City. So in Camden County, in the month of June, we only had 2.37 months of inventory. That was up slightly, a little over 1% month over month. Our list to sold price was 99.6%, and our median days on market was down 10% to just 18 days. Strong seller's market in Camden. We saw 23 new listings come on the market. That was down 4.2% month over month. We have a total of 71 active listings on the market. That is down almost 1.5% month over month. And our median days on market, 71, and that was down 5.3%. We had 15 new properties come on the market in the month of June in Camden County. That was down 55.9%. Median days on market was just 25, and that is down 16%. The inventory over there is more primary homes, and it's also driven by the military transfer season, and that is about to wind to an end. So they're very much property there sells year round, of course, but their busiest time tends to be the springtime. We have a total of 77 pending listings on the market in Camden County. That is down 26% month over month. Median days on market was 31, and that was up 72.2%. So probably one in there, one under contract that's been out there for a while. Some of the new construction over there is listed actually before it even starts. So their days on market sometimes will skew these numbers. But it's still a strong seller's market in Camden. We saw 44 properties successfully close in the month of June. That was up 63% month over month. List to sold price was 98.58%, so just under 100% list to sold price. Median days on market was down 10% at just 18 days. The median sold price for a home in Camden was $409,062 in the month of June, and that was up a little over 3.5% month over month. To recap Camden, you've got 2.37 months of supply of inventory over there. It is a strong seller's market. Buyers, you've got to come with your A game if you fall in love with a house and you want it. That inventory is down 1.3% month over month, and it is down 44.1% in the last 12 rolling months. A lot of that has to do with there's less new construction over there right now. And let's jump into Pasquotank County. And again, Pasquotank County is the home of the Coast Guard base. PCS season is starting to wind down as we approach mid-July. It is growth is occurring over there. Every time I go over to the area where Aldi and all the shopping is, there's something new being built. I went this past weekend, and there is a big new gas station being built over there. Just something new, sometimes 2 and 3 new businesses. And they've just announced a new annexed area in the Weeksville area, and a new big subdivision is about to be built over there. So a lot of growth in Elizabeth City. Let's dive into all of Pasquotank County. In Pasquotank County, we saw 83 new listings come on the market. In the month of June, that was down almost 6%. We have a total of 228 total listings, active listings on the market in Pasquotank County, and that is up 21%. Median days on market is 60. We have 34 new pending listings in Pasquotank County for the month of June. That's down 52.1% month over month. Median days on market is 14. Pending listings, we have a total of 137 pending listings on the market in Pasquotank County. That's down almost 26%. And again, that spring market is starting to wind down. We had a total of 25 median days on market. That was up 66.7% month over month. And in the month of June, we saw 82 properties successfully close. That was up almost 14%. Those sellers got a 99.74% list to sold price, so those are happy sellers. And median days on market was down almost 6.5% to just 15 days. So to recap, Pasquotank County, you've got almost 3.5 months worth of inventory on the market. That number is up 28.3% month over month, and only up 3.3% in the last 12 rolling months. So you can see Pasquotank County is an area that is seeing incredible growth. There are incredible opportunities over there for investments, short-term and long-term investments. And that medium term, you've got lots of medical there, and lots of contractors that come in for the government that are wanting to rent places for several weeks, several months, maybe 6 months at a time. So a strong investment market over there as well. This is Liz Holterhouse, powered by LPT Realty, coming to you today from my home in Coinjock, which is a very windy home today. Wind blowing out of the east straight towards us with some waves out there. It looks like you could boogie board on, and that's just the Currituck Sound. Got a nice reprieve from the hot weather last week. It's only in the 80s this week, so it's nice. Until next month, I hope you guys have a great time and enjoy the rest of your summer. Thank you.